Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. Chat today, just some classic CrossFit methodology stuff and a question that, it gives people strong opinions, which is always a fun question. So the question is, can you be too strong, right? Which initially, and I see some people that have already joined the chat, so to speak, that would probably say, no, you can never be too strong. You can never be strong enough. And so this is just going to be somebody says today was a trap. Yes, today was a trap. Heavy day to high heart rate, and definitely a trap. Tanner, I knew you would say no, that you can never be too strong. It just depends upon what your goals are, right? And it's just, too strong for what? Too strong doesn't mean that you wake up one day and you accidentally tear the door off of your car when you go to get in and you're like, oh geez, I keep just, accidentally tearing phone books in half and breaking people's hands when I shake them and put it, that's not what we're talking about. Can you be too strong with regards to your athletic pursuits? And it just depends upon what your athletic pursuits are, right? And what bucket you put yourself in. There's a really good chance, and what your goals are, there's a really good chance that if you are a power lifter and dead squat and press is your life, that your answer to this question would be no, you can't be strong enough. And I'd be probably right there behind you shaking my head saying, yeah, that makes sense. And so, are you an Olympic lifter? Probably the same thing. Are you, let's take it all the way to the extreme just to paint the example, right? You're a marathoner. You feed your family by being a runner, a long distance runner. And then you realize that your deadlift and back squat aren't that good. And so you're going to start drinking a gallon of milk a day to put 35 pounds on to bump up your back squat and your deadlift. That's probably going to be detrimental to your pursuit as being one of the best marathoners in the world. So it just depends. So that person could actually be too strong. Now, okay, maybe that's an extreme example, but point being, it just depends upon what community you fall into, what your goal happens to be, whether or not that answer is a yes or a no. And so if we're all here thinking that we are pursuing actual general physical preparedness, well then the answer is that yes, you could actually be too strong. And then of course that question would be, well, how does that even make sense? Aren't strong people harder to kill? Which there's a popular meme on the internet. Not really. Just run around a bit till they're tired and kill them then. But with regards to being well-rounded and having general physical preparedness be your primary focus, if that's what you're actually going for, then let's say that you started focusing on your back squat and focusing on your deadlift to the detriment of your metabolic conditioning and to the detriment of your body weight, your gymnastics, and your calisthenics. So that I check in with you 6 months later, back squat has gone up, nice job. Deadlift has increased, nice job. There's a great clean and jerk. You should put that on Instagram, looking solid. And your Cindy score went into the toilet. Your death by burpees, you don't even know what that means. And then your 5K run would just absolutely murder you. Well, then if your goal is general physical preparedness, you probably went too far to one side. And so, again, for GPP and well-rounded fitness, you could be too strong. Now, people get very defensive, and that's of course why I phrase this question this way. Can you be too strong? Because immediately people are like, no, impossible. But if I said, could you be too good at running, or could you be too good at gymnastics? People are like, well, maybe, I don't know. But for some reason, you use the word strong, and that one word just stirs up so much emotion in people. It's actually quite hysterical. But the same game applies to all those other deals as well, right? I mean, I think what is potentially detrimental or leads people down this road of being so defensive about the word strong is that I think a lot of people think that it's their lifts and their strength numbers, and that's the only thing holding back their fitness. And if they were to increase that, because Increasing strength solves all problems in some people's minds for being fit. The two, being strong and being fit, are not the same thing. That if I just get stronger, I'm going to be so fit, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to start beating my friends in workouts, and you'll see me just skyrocket up the leaderboard. That has not been what many, many years in this world of strength and conditioning have taught me. There's the line, right? Strength and conditioning. If you are in the world of just strength, that's a different deal. If you're on the world of strength and conditioning, there's a whole nother aspect there that just gets neglected. And so I think people think, yep, I'm just not strong enough. I'm going to focus on my strength. And man, then it's just superhero status for me when I walk into the gym doing all these mixed modality workouts with varieties of weights and loadings and rep ranges. And no, it's not how it's going to work at all. I think if people were open to an honest assessment, if that's what they believe was just their strength holding them back, this is just what life has shown me. Maybe it's shown you something different. I think if we took most of those people, if they said that their pursuit was being well-rounded in GPP, general physical preparedness, true fitness, they weren't just a power lifter, they weren't just an Olympic lifter. They were pursuing fitness, but thought that strength was holding them back. And then we really had them do an assessment of tests, a battery of tests, that what we would probably see is that they're right. They actually would benefit from getting stronger. But that's only 1/3 of the puzzle. And the other thing that battery of well-rounded tests would show is that, sorry, but your conditioning kind of sucks too. So you also need to work on your conditioning, because if we really look at it from an emotionless standpoint, just data, it's not just your strength holding you back, it's also your conditioning. Oh, and sorry, there's a third chapter to the book. We looked at all your strict gymnastics work and some other stuff, and yeah, that needs a lot of work too. So it's just not the barbell that's going to save most people. If most people could let their guard down, not be defensive, not be emotional, and take an actual data-driven assessment of where they were, most people need some help in all areas, quite frankly. Not just the barbell, not just conditioning, not just gymnastics. It's a little bit of everything. And all of us are chasing those three aspects, and we need to give all of them the time, respect, and attention they deserve to make nice, gradual, steady progress. And that's the goal. That's the goal of what we do at Linchpin. That should be the goal of any well-rounded training regime, is that we're greedy, right? We're absolutely greedy. We want you to get stronger. And anyone who's been following Linchpin for a while and sees all this, like, you're absolutely going to get stronger. But that's not enough. We also want you to have your conditioning improve, and we also want your body weight movements to improve, and then we want that to happen over a variety of time domains, loadings, rep schemes, the whole 9 yards. We're greedy and we want it all. And we want to do that in a nice, steady, incremental way that doesn't burn the athlete out, and it raises all of those boats at the same time. And it can absolutely occur. And that's one of the things that I think is the genius, or I really like the wording of how, CrossFit defined fitness when they were the first group to define fitness, because before that it was just a loosey-goosey definition that didn't hold up to any scrutiny, right? Fitness was just the state of being fit. Well, what in the world does that mean? You use the same word twice. How is fitness the state of being fit? Fitness is feeling good. Well, what does that mean? And when they actually said fitness is work capacity across broad time and modal domains, so work capacity, your ability just to do tasks across broad time from short to medium to long, and modal domains, not just with a barbell, different domains such as running, biking, rowing, different domains such as body weight. And when you had all of those things in the definition, if you were pursuing fitness, you had to pursue all of those things, and therefore you couldn't just embrace one at the detriment of the other. And so if that's what fitness was defined as, work capacity across broad time modal domains, that's fitness, then the goal of your training program should be to increase your fitness. And so the goal of what you do each day is to increase your work capacity across broad time modal domains. And when you think about it that way, if you're just increasing the barbell movements, well, that's not modal domains, that's one domain. You have now selected one domain. But we're trying to increase our work capacity across broad time and modal domains. So we don't neglect the conditioning, we don't neglect the body weight movements, and we don't neglect the barbell. And that's a lot of stuff to juggle. That's a lot. And that's why, if you're just trying to improve your running at the exclusion of everything else, it's a little bit easier to do because you don't have to worry about what's happening to your pull-ups or whatnot. If you're just trying to increase, nothing against lifters, plenty of friends who are just lifters, but if your whole world revolves around just a few lifts and you don't care what's happening to your 5K and you don't care what's happening to your 150 burpees for time, well, that's a great thing to not have to worry about. But when you are actually trying to pursue in this amazing, delicate balancing act of increasing all my power lifts, increasing my Olympic lifts, increasing my monostructural components, running, biking, rowing, increasing all my body weight stuff, and I'm going to do it all at the same time without neglecting anything, now you're in a very complicated pursuit. A worthy pursuit and a worthwhile pursuit, but it is, all of us are involved in something very complicated, which is also what makes it so rewarding. But getting back to the original question, can you be too strong? It just depends upon what your goals are. If your goal is actually well-rounded fitness, really, like under serious scrutiny, you really want to be well-rounded, then the answer is yes. That question shouldn't be interpreted as, well, Pat said I don't need to work on getting stronger. That's not what I said. We're all working on getting stronger. We're all working on getting better conditioned. And we're all working on becoming better at bodyweight gymnastics and calisthenic movements. And we're doing all of it at the same time. Can you be too strong? If it starts to negatively degrade and take away from you being a well-rounded athlete. If that's your goal, then yes, you can be too strong. So hopefully that's just a good refresher. Again, this is nothing that I created. This is classic CrossFit methodology, and that has only been solidified and reinforced with, my 18 years of educating folks about CrossFit, observing what happens in my life, observing what happens in thousands of other athletes' lives. So I'm just sharing, just the messenger. So that's it. Have a great day. Enjoy the workout today. How nice, talk about mixed modality. Today is a day that actually fits really well for this conversation. Today's workout is a day that if you have been neglecting any particular area of your fitness, it's going to show up today, because today's workout at Linchpin requires conditioning. It requires capacity at body weight movements, and it requires capacity with a heavy load on a barbell while you're fatigued. So today's workout for Linchpin is 155 pounds on the barbell for men, 105 for women, 3 rounds for time, 400 meter run, 10 clean and jerks, 400 meter run, 20 pull-ups. Oh, that's right. In each round, there's 2 400 meter runs in each round. Isn't that just a joyous treat to be bestowed upon you? So by the end of the workout, you will have done 6 400 meter runs, 30 clean and jerks at 155 pounds, and 3 sets of 20 pull-ups. None of those aspects are laughing matters, and if any aspect of fitness has not been getting the attention that it deserves, it will be readily apparent. It'll be readily apparent. So that's it. I see Ryan just said, missed yesterday's workout and today's look awful. Today's looks awful, to be honest. Yes, awful in that crazy way that bizarre athletes like ourselves somehow enjoy. So enjoy the workout, everybody. Have a great day, and we will talk later.